It is another beautiful baseball night in Atlanta here at Turner Field, where for the second night in a row, the Braves and Marlins meet in the middle game of our three-game series. And hopefully the Braves can play 8.5 and get back into the win column. Our series between the Marlins and the Braves is brought to you by the Home Depot. More saving and more doing. The Braves' magic number for a playoff spot is at 11. Any combination of Braves wins and Cardinal losses means the Braves will be back-to-back wild card winners. Atlanta 4.5 games in front of the St. Louis Cardinals. A sense of urgency today, a players and coaches meeting before the game. Freddie Gonzalez called it. Chipper Jones provides our Geico quote of the day talking about that pregame meeting.
We know what the end result is, or the end result has to be, and that's going out and not taking any one pitch, any one at bat for granted, whether you're on the mound, whether you're in the field, whether you're at bat, and everybody knows it. It doesn't have to be said, but sometimes it helps to know that, the 30, 35 other guys in here, are tuned in, they're focused, and they're ready to go, and we're ready to go. There's no doubt about that.
And Joe Simpson, I guess you'd agree with that. The Braves are ready. They're just not winning right now.
I think they needed to be reminded that they've got a 4.5 game lead. They're not 4.5 behind, so they can relax a little bit and go out and get it done. And hopefully tonight starts a long winning streak instead of this and in this 4-game losing streak.
And it's Mike Minor who gets the ball for the Braves in Game 1, and he's been, or in Game 2 of the series, I should say. And Mike's been terrific in his last 4 or 5 decisions.
He has been, and in his 12 starts this year, the Braves are 9-3, so that's a good sign. He's done a good job of keeping the club in ball games. His last start against the Mets, he gave up a grand slam early, but he hung in there and gave the team a chance to win, which they did, to improve his record to 5-2 with a 4.32 ERA. He's 4-0 over his last 6 starts. That's a good omen too, and I like the chances tonight. It's time to put the losing streak behind us.
Sounds like a plan to me. Brad Hand's pitching for the Florida Marlins. It's Game 2, Braves and the Fighting Fish. We've got a pennant race in Atlanta, and over in the junior circuit, some races are tightening up too. After a quick break, Joe and I will break down those AL races for you as we get you set for the Braves and the Marlins right after this. We mentioned a moment ago, have a 4.5 game lead in the National League wild card race, but that's not the only wild card race that's heating up in Major League Baseball. Things really tightening up and getting very interesting in the American League East and that wild card race.
It's mostly thanks to the Tampa Bay Rays. They've decided that they're going to play a full schedule this year and not just roll over for the Yankees and Red Sox. They swept Boston last week in Tampa Bay and have a big 4-game series coming up this coming weekend in Boston. They've made it very interesting by getting within 3 games of Boston in the wild card, and not that far back from the Yankees.
Yeah, the Red Sox are 4 back to Tampa Bay, 7 back for the division lead, and Boston's really struggling, losing 5 consecutive games. The other great race is the American League West. A lot of folks really conceded that division title to Texas, but beware the Halos. They're closing in too.
You know, it's more on Texas, I think, right now. They've had opportunities to run off and leave the Angels, and they haven't done it. And now they find themselves forced the last 2 weeks to really contend with the Angels for that title in the West, and they've got they only have themselves to blame for letting the Angels hang around.
Texas 15 games over 500 in the division. The Angels a game under 500. That might be a big tale to follow here over the final 2 weeks of regular season play. It is a beautiful night for baseball here in Atlanta. Let's not worry about the Cardinals. Let's take care of our own business. Let's see if the Braves can play 8.5 and walk off a winner tonight as we play the Fish right after this. Set for game 2. Here's how Jack McKeon lines up the Fighting Fish. McKeon looking for a milestone win. He's tied with Freddie Gonzalez, by the way, for #1 all-time on the Florida managerial win list. And he'll go with the same lineup he posted last night, trying to make it 5 in a row with Brad Hand, the pitcher.
Brad Hand is just 21 years old, 6'3", 220 out of Chaska, Minnesota, but we'll get to him when he comes to pitch in the next inning. Right now it's Mike Minor. Mike Minor makes his 13th start of the year. He's 5-2 with a 4.32 ERA. Has not pitched against the Fish this year and had a rough outing against them last year. Since the All-Star break, he's 4-0 with a 4.05 ERA. He's 3-1 at Turner Field. Brad Hand's really good too, but we'll talk about him in a minute. His 4 keys to pitching success for Mike Minor. No 2-out trouble. It seems like that's when it always happens to Mike. When he gets into problems he can't get out of, it always happens after he's already gotten 2 outs. And be aggressive tonight inside. keep the hitters honest, pitch inside more.
And this is ball one with Emilio Bonifacio, the Marlins right fielder. Bonifacio was 2 for 7 last night. He tripled, he scored, and he had an infield hit among those 7 at-bats. 40 infield hits for this very fast Marlins utility player.
From that standpoint, I think he's more dangerous left-handed because he gets out of the box so quickly. But his batting average better right-handed, 311 versus 286.
Our Delta Airlines on deck batter is Omar Infante.
5 hits all year against Atlanta until last night.
There's that inside pitch, but he missed with it. Full count.
Just a little inside, but good try to go down and in on him.
Little flare over first, and that's going to drop in front of Matt Diaz. So Bonifacio doing what Jack McKeon really wanted him to do when McKeon took over as manager. See a lot of pitches and find a way to get on where he's a constant threat to run.
Good at bat. I mean, you got to give him credit for not chasing some bad pitches early in the count, getting one he could handle.
Three hits for Omar Infante last night. His average up to 280. A rare error for Infante defensively. That would have been the only blemish for the Florida second baseman's night. They're very happy with Infante. We talked about that last night. Some talk that a contract extension might be in the offing for Omar Infante. And good for him. He's a good man.
He's been out there virtually every day with the exception of that time he missed when he dove for a ground ball and wound up breaking his middle finger on his throwing hand.
High fly ball toward left and playable for Martin Prado. He's got it. 1 on, 1 out. Here's the Braves defensive lineup tonight. Jason Hayward gets the night off with a left-hander on the mound. Bourne and Prado join Matt Diaz in the outfield. There's the Atlanta infield lineup. Brian McCann back in behind the plate.
And Brad Hand on the mound for the Marlins tonight. Oh, not yet?
We're off to a flying start, aren't we?
Not yet.
Long night last night, folks. 4 hours and 18 minutes and 12 innings of baseball. So hopefully we'll settle in along with you at home. Here's Dobbs. Most of those steals have come since the All-Star break.
It's funny, but that kind of goes in good waves too. I mean, you can get hot as a base stealer where you are on base, of course. You got to get on like Bonifacio's been doing, but you also, I don't know what it is. You just get a good sense for reading pitchers. You get good timing on your breaks. He's certainly in one of those stretches.
There's a good pitch, 0-2. Well, a challenge for Bonifacio. Miner's got a good pickoff move. And he's staring right at him as a left-handed pitcher. idea. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Almost all of Dobbs' at-bats have come against right-handers. This is only the 34th at-bat all year long against a lefty. But if he were with us last night, they're very short-handed in the outfield. Mike Stanton not in the lineup again tonight, even though he had the game winner last night, the bad hamstring. Logan Morrison is back with the team, but he's really not available either after sliding into the wall in Pittsburgh and hurting his knee.
And right after the game last night, they released Mike Cameron. Hesitates, then goes, and the throw in time. Got him. Bonifacio had a terrific lead from first. He hesitated, and that cost him, and the Marlins strike out into a double play to retire the side in the first. Watch. And a beautiful throw ends the inning. Half of inning number 1. Here's how the Braves line up. Brian McCann moves down in the order. Martin Prado in left field, 7th. Alex Gonzalez, 8th. Matty Diaz gets the start for the Braves, and Jason Hayward, he's in right field. And Mike Minor is pitching and batting 9th.
And I don't know if you've ever heard of this guy, but his name is Brad Hand, and he's out of Chaska, Minnesota. He's 1-6 on the year in 10 starts. And he's faced the Braves twice and lost twice to them, but one of them, his first big league start, he only gave up 1 hit and got beat 1-0 on an Alex Gonzalez home run. His 4 keys to success tonight: 1-0 again. I hope not, he says. And he's got an excellent changeup. And the reason I say 1-0 again is that he just lost his last game 1-0 to the New York Mets. Went 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, and got beat 1-0.
Michael Bourne singles to start the game for the Braves. Let's see if Chipper can jump all over Brad Hand here.
12-3. That's the call tonight, apparently.
Yep.
Braves are going to blow him out 12-3.
Point about Hand, amazing. Second player since 1900 to take a loss while going 6 innings or more and giving up 1 hit or less in his major league debut. On May 19th, 1971, the Washington Senators' Mike Thompson took the loss, allowing 1 hit in 7 innings to the Orioles. That according to the Marlins media press notes. So you look at Hand's record, you say, wow, he's really struggling. You look at his ERA and you say, wow, he's done a pretty good job.
Yeah. And again, just 21 years old. Watched Chipper take batting practice before the game. Watched his swings, and he was lighting it up. But then he went out to take some ground balls, and something weird happened. Don't know if he strained a groin or not.
He pops this ball into shallow left, drifting out as the shortstop. And Murphy makes the play for out number 1.
But he cut his work in the field short and walked off the field at that point. So I'm not sure exactly what he did to kind of tweak it when he was about to make a throw while taking some grounders. But we'll keep an eye on him tonight. Remember, he had that collision last night where we all seem to be more concerned about maybe jamming his hand or wrist when he had that collision with with Gabby Sanchez at first base. We'll see if that had a lingering effect.
And Freddie, after the game, Freddie Gonzalez said Chipper was coming out of the game at that point anyway, so there was no physical problem with Chipper when he was pinch run for with Jose Constanza. So 1 on, 1 out. Freddie Freeman, 1 for 5 on his birthday yesterday, sitting on 19 homers and 72 RBIs. Wow, look at that. Where was that going? Bourne steals second. And I've never seen that.
Well, he was trying to change directions. After he saw Bourne take off, he was going to the plate, and then he thought, well, maybe I better go to first. Well, maybe I can't do either one.
Wow.
Oh, it's a good thing that Ugla wasn't way over off the on-deck circle. He'd have gotten nailed.
Would he get credit for being hit by a pitch in the on-deck circle?
I don't know.
Holy smokes. So it's a stolen base, and Freeman ahead, 2 balls and a strike.
That was pretty entertaining. Chan, our statistician, said he just hit the bull, remember?
Right. Yeah. Give the man a steak. 3 balls and a strike. I mean, that's one of those things, those of us who love the sport, you come to the ballpark and you think, okay, what am I going to see new today?
Right.
Talked about hitters being caught in between. Never seen a pitched ball thrown by a pitcher in between.
Well, he knew that he was going to balk if he didn't throw the ball, so he just threw it.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Nice stop by Buck.
First walk of the game. And here's Ugla. Braves second baseman, 2 for 5. He's hit safely in 19 of his last 22 games. Remember, Dan also had a 33-game hitting streak.
He does have his numbers up over 200 against lefties, too. And they were so miserable early in the year, but he is hitting .203 against him now, and 5 of those 33 homers have come against left-handers.
Pop fly foul, strike 1. The Braves have not hit lefties well this season as a club, but they do have a winning record against left-handed starters.
23-20.
Nothing in 2.
And just threw his changeup in to Ugla, which is a bit of a surprise.
That'll reach the seats. And now Buck out for a visit.
This kid was having a great year at Double-A in Jacksonville. When they called him up, he was 11-4. He had pitched in A-ball and some Double-A last year. Combined was 9-8 in those 2 stops, and with the good start he got off to this year, and certainly being left-handed, that complemented their rotation too. Called up at age 21, skipped Triple-A.
Braves forcing his pitch count up. That's 15 already in the first inning. And still only 1 out. Bourne's trying for third. The pitch is dropped by Buck. First and third now. And a fly ball could give Atlanta the lead.
Didn't make him stop. He got a nice walking lead and stole it without a throw. Freeman was not paying attention and got left at first.
The double play still in order. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And hand down swinging. That's that stat that has been a problem all year. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. And after a 3-for-20 night with runners in scoring position last night, Braves so far out of luck in that stat here in the first.
And good pitch, tied him up. Remember, he fouled off a pitch earlier, about 2 pitches ago, down the first base line, got jammed badly, and ran another one in there.
Well, let's see what Matty can do. First and third now, 2 outs. That gives you some hope.
Well, and early runs, the best tonic in the world for an offense to help everybody relax, too.
Popped up into shallow right. Bonifacio is there, and the Braves had him first and third with 1 out and are unable to break through in the opening inning. part by Academy Sports and Outdoors, by AT&T Uverse TV, and by Delta Airlines. Lovely night in Atlanta and no score after one. We're back at Turner Field. Joe Simpson, Chip Carey, the rest of our great crew tonight. Mike Minor back to work with the 4, 5, and 6 hitters coming up for the Fish. Miami native Gabby Sanchez, the Florida first baseman, starts things off. Three balls, no strikes. And 4 out of the zone in a row puts Sanchez aboard to start the second inning.
He wasn't sure about that. He wasn't going to leave too early. He must have thought that was a pretty good pitch.
Leadoff man on for the Marlins for the second consecutive inning. And here's the catcher, John Buck.
We keep saying this about Mike Minor, and it's true. He just gets better with every outing in terms of confidence, his whole approach, his aggressiveness, knowing that he belongs here. And there is a learning curve about how to pitch in the big leagues and how to be successful. And for this kid out of Vanderbilt, he's shortening that curve. Just signed in 2009.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Three rookies starting this series for Atlanta. Beachy last night, Minor tonight, Randall Delgado tomorrow afternoon.
Oh,
just missed.
Good fastball too at 92. Had a little movement on it. McCann held it there, but a little low.
Buck didn't get that. Second strikeout for Minor. 1 on, 1 out.
Change up, 3-2 change. Something you got to be willing to do, especially when you've got one as good as Mike Minor. You've got to be willing to do it at this level, and particularly to guys in the middle of the lineup who have the capability of hitting the ball out of the ballpark. They're primed for a fastball 3-2, and you got to make good pitches with your changeup. And that was a beauty.
That caught the corner to Brian Peterson. No balls and a strike. Peterson hits lefties well, a .323 average against them. And this ball bounced toward Ugla at second. And that's all Atlanta gets on the transfer. Alex drops the ball. But Sanchez forced out for the second of the second inning.
I don't know if I've ever seen a second baseman make that play more often than Dan Uggla has this year, where it looks like maybe it would be a play where you just get the out at first base. It's too far to turn and throw back to second. But he does it a lot, and he does it successfully and keeps a guy out of scoring position.
Here's Donnie Murphy. Talk about good defense. This guy last night was amazing at shortstop.
Yeah, we could have easily have given him the Home Depot player of the game last night instead of Stanton just for his defensive work.
Murphy made a great play in the 11th inning to rob Martin Prado. Braves had 2 runners aboard trying to win it in that frame. And Murphy with a spectacular play at shortstop. Runner at first goes, pitch bounced to the mound. Minor gets Murphy. Marlins strand their first base runner in the ball game. No score after an inning and a half. Field. Hope you'll join us tomorrow afternoon for the series wrap-up. And Braves fans, grab your cell phone and text Delta to South. That's Delta to 76884 for your chance to win a round-trip airfare for 2 anywhere Delta flies in the continental United States, plus hotel accommodations and $250 spending cash. We'll announce the winner during our telecast Monday the 19th when the Braves are in Miami to face the Florida Marlins.
And you folks that have tickets for Saturday's game here at Turner Field, don't forget, 4 o'clock game against the Mets. 4 o'clock Saturday.
Brian McCann drops a spot in the order and drops a single to start the second inning.
I think that's a good start for Brian to get back on track. I personally think that he's been over-swinging a little bit, feeling like he's got to, take some of the responsibility for the lack of runs on his own shoulders, trying to hit the ball out of the ballpark a little too much. But a nice, easy swing there against the left-handed pitcher and just banged it right back through the middle. That'll get him going.
Yeah, he's strong enough. If he just makes solid contact, the ball's going to jump off his bat.
Just see the ball and hit it. Just react to it. And don't try to muscle it up too much, which I think is something he's been doing.
Meanwhile, Martins hit it right on the button, but right at people for the last week. See if he can find a gap.
Yeah, he was the guy that got robbed last night by Murphy, big time. use that play again. Would have won the ball game. One hop shot that he handled and got the force out at second to end the game, or end the inning rather. If he gets by him, or if he just knocks it down and it trickles by him, the Braves win.
There's a line drive, but foul. That almost picked off the ball boy. Of course, we'll keep you up to date with the Cardinals and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Chris Carpenter is starting that game for St. Louis. They lead 3-1, but the Pirates have the bases loaded in the second and only one out. Here it's scoreless. And a pop-up. Drifting out is Infante. And Omar puts the squeeze on it. 1 on, 1 out.
This kid's a little wild, as we have seen tonight, and almost threw 2 to the backstop the first 2 pitches to Martin. But beyond that, he's got a real good changeup, and he's got good movement on his fastball. He's walked more than he's struck out coming into this game. 32 walks to 28 strikeouts.
But they don't score for him. So any mistake he makes, he pays dearly. He's 1-6. Looking for back-to-back good offensive nights for the Braves. He was 3 for 4 last night with a couple of RBIs. And a line drive into the left field corner. McCann around second is on his way to third. Dobbs digs it out. And Alex doubles with 1 out. Second and third for Mike Minor.
Well, Alex is getting hot at the right time. Another high fastball that he turned on. He's had good numbers against the Marlins this year too. And remember, that's one of his former teams, hitting .278 against Florida for the year, and he's hit 2 homers against them, and they've both been off of Brad Hand.
Yeah, it was his homer that beat Hand in his debut. So add a double to that ledger. And now Minor can help himself. Infield creeps in at the corners.
Squeeze a possibility to try to get that first run in here. Mike 3 for 23. Good cut. Fastball. Took a good swing at it.
Fastball gets Minor. First, or I should say the second strikeout for Brad Hand. 2 on, 2 out.
And already 0 for 3 tonight are the Braves with runners in scoring position.
Chipper would love a chance to bat with the bases loaded.
You know it, and the Marlins don't want to see that happen. That's why falling behind was not what John Buck had in mind, trying to calm his young pitcher down. Left-handed batter on top of that. They want to make a good pitch here to Bourne. And Michael in the driver's seat at 2-0 doesn't have to swing unless it's exactly what he's looking for.
Back to the mound, and that will retire the side. The Braves 0 for 4 tonight with runners in scoring position. They've stranded 4 men, and we remain scoreless. Braves trying to break through against the Marlins in this series, and there's a look at tonight's McDonald's fan of the game.
He's going about that hot dog kind of like it's watermelon.
I don't think I've ever seen a hot dog eaten like that.
A little corn on the cob thing. He's got it under control, though.
Matt Dominguez, first big league RBI last night. Kid third baseman for the Fish, getting a chance to get some extended major league time in September. Part of that, the injuries that Joe mentioned to the Marlins outfield core. Another reason for that is that Florida let go of Wes Helms. Braves signed Wes briefly, but he was injured and is no longer with the Braves organization. See if Wes catches on with somebody next year. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That caught the outside corner. Get your tickets now to see the rock legend Styx. They'll perform a free post-game concert presented by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines after the Braves and Mets play this Saturday. Get your tickets and VIP field passes today at braves.com/Styx. Remember, that Saturday game is a day game. It'll start around 4:10 in the afternoon, not 7:10, as printed on the tickets. Big Fox will broadcast the ball game. Then Styx will do their thing afterward. Hope to see you at the ballpark. It's a very important homestand for the Braves, leading the Cardinals by 4.5 in the wild card race. And tonight trying to snap a 4-game losing streak. And an easy out. Back-to-back strikeouts in the third inning.
Mike made a real good pitch to Dominguez. Got him looking at a 93 fastball. Had a little running action to it to the outside corner. A little tailing action, I should say.
No balls, 2 strikes. Up the middle and Minor leaps. And an underhand flip, close play. But the Marlins retired in order, 3 up, 3 down in the top of the third. In the bottom half, Chipper Jones, Freddie Freeman, and Dan Uggla go to work for the second time tonight. One to Chipper Jones. Line drive into left.
Running okay down the first base line, too. Good sign. So how about this? Got a guy there that was runner-up Rookie of the Year, should have won it against Hideo Nomo, and you got Freddie Freeman, one of the candidates for Rookie of the Year. Let's make some comparisons on our Georgia Lottery hitting the jackpot. At this stage, anyway, similar at bats. Freddie's got a much higher batting average, had not scored as many runs, didn't have as many home runs, but his on-base percentage very comparable to Chipper because Chipper walked a lot.
Freddie jumps on the first pitch, skies to left. 1 on, 1 out.
By comparison, the two at this stage, Freddie with 154 hits, Chipper had 139. That's what the difference is in their on-base percentage, because Chipper at this same stage with 73 walks versus only 45 for Freeman. But some very comparable numbers there, I think, for the two from their rookie years. And a compliment to Freddie on that standpoint.
Ogla rolls one foul past third, strike one. Well, that's going to be a great race. The Rookie of the Year in the National League. Craig Kimbrell, Freddie Freeman, Brandon Beachy, all deserving of consideration for the Atlanta Ball Club.
Chipper used to get a look on his face like that, too, when he'd pop up.
This one fouled to the right side by Dan. 0-2.
From Mike Iacchino, our producer on Braves Live, he made an observation, and it's a good one. This is the 7th straight inning dating back to last night that the Braves have gotten their leadoff man on and have not scored as yet.
Fly ball pretty well hit to right. Chipper back at first with 2 outs. And come playoff time, assuming the Braves get there, that is a stat that has to dramatically improve if the Braves are to win games, much less advance in postseason play.
Well, that's what goes to what I wanted to know today when we put those numbers together about how many base runners they've had during this 9-game stretch where they've gone 2-7. And coming into this game, it was 111 base runners. And the Braves had scored 29 runs and left 73 men on base. That kind of percentage against really good pitching in the postseason generally won't get it done.
Away to Matty Diaz. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Here's what we talked about in Braves Live tonight about the last 9 games, and Braves are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position already tonight. That's a lot of base runners. They're getting on. They're just not getting them in. Michael Bourne tonight singled in the first inning, stole 2 bases, second and third, but was left at third.
That's well hit to center. Peterson on the run, tracks it down on the warning track. Matt Diaz gave it a ride, but the Braves have 3 flyouts after a Chipper Jones leadoff single. Are brought to you in part by the Home Depot for saving or doing. Nice night here at Turner Field. No one's broken through yet after 3 innings. The Pirates draw closer, 3-2. They trail the Cardinals in the 4th inning. Chris Carpenter facing Jeff Karstens. Carpenter just signed a new 2-year contract with the St. Louis Ball Club. As they try to pull a little closer to Atlanta tonight. Line drive, fair ball past first. Omar Infante sprays one to right field, and he will double on the first pitch of the 4th inning.
It looked like that was like right off of his batting gloves. Inside out stroke. He even was looking for it. He couldn't find it. Kept his head down. He was looking up, and then there it is. Freddie's in case he tried to bunt, so all he could do is just look at it.
So Minor in some trouble with Dobbs up there. Struck out Dobbs into a double play in the 1st inning. Bonifacio hesitated on a stolen base attempt. Strikeout and a perfect throw ended the Florida first. Dobbs' job, get Omar to third base.
Like he's even choked up on the bat just a little bit, trying to make sure he shortens up his swing and gets that runner over to third.
Now he's behind 1-2.
Again, not too many at-bats against left-handed pitching. Let's see if he'll chase a breaking ball.
High fly to left. Dobbs cannot advance Infante. 1 out. Gabby Sanchez walked his first time.
This guy the Marlins have a little concern about. Good player, good hitter, but each of the last 2 years, and he was 3rd in the Rookie of the Year voting last year, I believe, behind Posey and Hayward. His numbers have really fallen off in the second half. And part of their concern is just his body type, that he puts on weight. Listed at 6'1", 220. He's every bit of that and more. And this year, before the All-Star break, a 293 average, 222 cents. And while as the season drags on, especially through the hot months of the summer after the All-Star break, most guys are having a hard time keeping weight on. He's adding.
1 ball, 1 strike. Well, they really do have kind of a logjam, don't they, with this Florida club? Logan Morrison's a true first baseman. When he's healthy, he plays the outfield. Because Conklin was an infielder. They had him in the outfield.
They have an option. I mean, if they decide to move him over the wintertime, if that concern mounts. And that option is Morrison. That's a tough evaluation to have to make, though, on a guy that you know is a pretty solid hitter.
Two balls, two strikes. The other tough part of it for Sanchez, at least, is this is a rough year to be moving if you're a first baseman, because Prince Fielder and Albert Pujols are potential free agents. That might limit the ability of Florida to move either Morrison or Sanchez.
Unless St. Louis and Milwaukee suddenly find themselves needing a first baseman.
Yep. Outside, full count. Why would Albert leave the favorable official scoring of St. Louis?
It's a really good question. Mike's been very efficient. But now 3-2. What's he going to do to try to put Sanchez away? Gabby was cutting it loose last night with on some high fastballs. Late in the game, he was trying to end the game with one swing.
And he walks for the second time. First and second, one out. Home run cut. Buck came up empty. Buck was originally an Astro. They drafted him in 1998. But when the Astros traded for Carlos Beltran, Buck went to Kansas City. That was June 24th, 2004. Toronto signed him as a free agent. Then the Marlins grabbed him in November of last year and signed him through 2013.
What were his numbers last year in Toronto? He had a good year.
He had 20 homers.
Yeah.
Hit 281, 66 RBIs. We mentioned last night, among Florida catchers, his 16 homers this year, second most in a single season all time, behind Charles Johnson, who hit 19 one year.
Made a good pitch with his changeup to him last time around. Got a hitter's count here. Let's see what they do. Two-seam fastball and a good one.
2-2. Beg your pardon. And then a breaking ball. Miners had the strikeout pitch working tonight. That's his fifth in the game and a big second out.
It's kind of a late breaking pitch, too. More like a curveball instead of a slider, but it seemed to kind of hang over the plate before it really started to bite. Good pitch.
High fly to right. Matt Diaz drifts back. And Peterson and the Marlins are retired. They strand a pair of runners. Brian McCann leads off the Braves' fourth. Still no score in Game 2 between Atlanta and the Florida Marlins. Breakthrough against the Marlins. It'll start with catcher Brian McCann. It's an exciting week in the SEC, and breaking it down's our own Christina Acra and the SEC Gridiron Live team. She's joined by Randy Cross, Tim Couch, and Kevin Carter. They're all SEC football all the time, and they want to hear from you. Tune in tomorrow night, 10 Eastern on Fox Sports South.
That's a really good show. All encompassing SEC football.
High fly ball left field. Pretty well hit. Dobbs going back at the wall. He's got it. And one out.
High fastball. Nice swing. Didn't really try to load up on it and still almost hit it out of the ballpark to the opposite field. Just enough room for the Dauber.
Martin Prado popped up his first time. And that's a little high, ball one. Let's give Mike Minor a lead. Leads have been hard to come by for the Braves. Dating back to the start of the just completed road trip, the Braves have had a lead in 21 of their last 88 innings.
That's not enough. It would have been okay if it had been at the ninth inning each time, but
yes. High fly, right field line. Long run Bonifacio, and he can't get there. 1-2. Again, the ball club had a players meeting, staff meeting in the clubhouse before the game. Heard Chipper's comments beforehand. He knows what's expected. The ball club knows what's expected. They're getting opportunities. They just haven't gotten the big hit.
Good curve.
Martin's down on strikes.
Had a good changeup. That was a real good curveball.
And two straight outs for Hand in the fourth. Fans sign up today for the 2012 Braves Fantasy Camp. You'll enjoy a week of baseball at Disney's Wide World of Sports. Otis Nixon and Sid Bream will be there. Hope you will be too. Register today at braves.com/fantasycamp.
Boy, Alex is all over it. Back to that team meeting, Chip, real quick. It wasn't a pep talk, didn't need to be. Just had to be a little bit of a reminder again about how the Braves are in a good spot here with 14 to go. Relax and go get them.
No score here. Cardinals had a run in the 5th in Pittsburgh. 4-2 St. Louis. Approaching midway through in PNC Park. And fans ask all the time, well, is it pressure? Are the Braves nervous about it? This is a veteran team. I mean, there are a couple of rookies on this Braves ball club, but these guys have been through this before, especially last year. Remember, it took the final weekend for things to be decided for the Atlanta club last season. I think it's safe to say they're in a better situation this year than last.
It is definitely the proverbial crunch time, and everybody's aware of that, and everybody's aware that they're in a position where they can, kind of salt this thing away with a few wins. They know that. And that may have been one of the purposes of the meeting from Freddie, was to let everybody know you got 9 guys out there tonight. Doesn't have to fall on one man's shoulders.
And I go back to what we said as well early. It's not like they're getting 2 or 3 guys on per game.
No.
That's the good news. They're getting chances. Once they break through, hopefully that'll take whatever pressure's there right off. Pop fly into foul ground. Gabby Sanchez takes a look at the tarp and tumbles on top of the tarp and makes the play. Beautiful effort by Gabby Sanchez. And that denies Alex Gonzalez and the Braves in the bottom of the 4th inning. We go to the 5th. Lower third due for the Marlins in a scoreless game at Turner Field. Fifth inning. All season long, Braves baseball on Sports South is being presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price. Donnie Murphy, Matt Dominguez, Brad Hand coming up against Mike Minor. Mike's pitched well. 5 strikeouts, a couple of walks. Only 2 Florida hits. They've left 3 men on base tonight. And 4 straight puts Murphy on. Florida's had the leadoff guy on 4 times in the first 5 innings.
Twice with walks. That hurts.
At trivia time tonight in Atlanta, here's the AT&T Uverse TV trivia question. Who holds the Marlins record for the highest career batting average against the Braves with a minimum of 150 plate appearances?
I don't know if he got 150 plate appearances, but Miguel Cabrera would be my guy right off the top of my head.
No balls and a strike to Matt Dominguez, who struck out. Think back to those late 90s Marlins teams. They had some terrific offensive players. Moises Alou. How did he hit the Braves? You remember? All with Florida?
Not enough to earn any consideration for this.
Up the middle and right over the second base bag. And Murphy will make it to third with nobody out. So Matt Dominguez scalds one through the box. And Florida in business first and third with nobody out.
I don't know how that didn't get something of Mike Minor, either the glove or the hand or something. But when it missed everything, then you hoped it would hit the bag, and it missed the bag. So the leadoff walk leads to problems here in the 5th.
Let's see how McKeon and the Marlins play it with Hand. He pops it up. Minor dives, touches that ball in fair territory, and Hand is out at first base. That's a huge break for Florida.
That might have been a 1-2-4. Yeah, I think he kicked it right over to Brian, who might have had a play at second, but he wasn't aware of that. So that was an odd sacrifice.
And now Bonifacio, a chance to put Marlin fans in front. Second, third, one out. He's 1 for 2 in the game.
Braves are playing back up the middle, willing to concede a run. Corners are in. They would try to cut the runner off at the plate if he broke. Not bad for Bonifacio, 277 with runners in scoring position this year. Not bad for a leadoff guy.
He takes high, ball 2. Big cut, but fouled back. It's now 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Breaking ball, change up in the vicinity. Might force him to expand his zone, cause him to top one. Maybe why they're having a little trouble getting together here.
Well, for a man that's supposed to play the little man's game, Bonifacio strikes out an awful lot. 112 times in 498 at bats.
That is a bunch.
Second highest total on their team. Now it's a full count. Mike's had a handful of those tonight. At the bottom of the 8 o'clock hour, no score, but trouble on the bases for the Marlins. Line drive into right field, a base hit. That puts Florida in front. Dominguez around third, runs through the stop sign, but scrambles back to third. So Bonifacio, with his second hit of the game, cashes in a leadoff walk, and Florida has struck first.
Fastball elevated up and away. Just right for Bonifacio to go the other way with it and drive it to right. Diaz was playing shallow, and it's unfortunate that Dominguez didn't just keep running because they'd have had him dead to rights. Good stop there by his third base coach, Joe Espada.
Infante takes a strike.
Omar, as we saw his last time up, very good at going the other way, especially when a runner's being held at first.
That didn't miss by much. 2 balls and a strike.
In 12 innings last night, the Marlins drew 5 walks. 2 of them scored, including a leadoff walk, John Buck, in the 12th inning that led to the winning run.
High fly ball, shallow left. Martin Prado comes up cleanly, and he will hold Dominguez at third with a strong throw right to Chipper Jones in the center of the diamond. That helps.
Before the game, Martin and Michael Bourne, just before the start of the game, really engaged in some long catch. They were airing out some long throws to get their arms good and loose. Certainly paid off here for Martin, who got this in quickly and made a perfect head-high throw to the cutoff man.
Mike Minor like that. Now let's see if he can get Dobbs. There are 2 out and 2 on. 1-0 Florida in the 5th.
Don't forget about him.
Bonifacio's been caught stealing once tonight. Good lead at first. Now 2 strikes on Greg Dobbs. Lined right to Chipper. And Miner does a heck of a job of minimizing the damage in the 5th inning. Florida scores the game's first run. A leadoff walk is chased home by a Bonifacio single to right. And in the bottom of the 5th inning, it's 1-0 with Michael Bourne due up second for the Braves. Number 5, 1-0. Florida has the lead. Got to tip your cap to Brad Head. He's had some trouble in the early innings, but has settled in nicely. He's retired 6 consecutive. As we mentioned last night, Joe, this is a Marlins club that's had a better record on the road for Jack McKeon, and a Marlins club that over the last couple of weeks has been pitching, at least as far as their starters are concerned, as well as anybody in the National League.
Yeah, in the low 2s.
As we mentioned earlier, Jack McKeon's tied with Freddie Gonzalez for the top spot on the all-time managers win list for the Marlins. That's our Academy Sports and Outdoor leaderboard. And nobody knows who's going to manage the Marlins club next year. That's one of the big questions they'll have to answer as these days and weeks move toward a conclusion in 2011.
Marlins are hoping that their new stadium reflects an increase in attendance, too.
Miner's down on strikes. Hand has had a good breaking ball the last couple of innings. 7 straight have been set down. That's his 4th strikeout.
The Braves average more runs per start for Mike Minor while he's in the game than any other pitcher. Now it's negligible. It's 3.5 to 3.4 for Tommy Hanson, 3.2 for Jurgens. But it's time to get some of that 3-point something.
Bunted right back to the mound, and Hand fluidly fields and fires to first. 8 in a row. And 2 outs for Chipper. Chipper swinging it as well as anybody over the last 3 weeks. A .360 average in the last 21 games he's played. Scored 12 runs in that stretch as well. Jumps on a ball and hammers that down the left field line, but deep into the Florida bullpen.
Stayed back, waited on it. Great extension. His timing's been real good right-handed. His His hands are working real well. His balance is good.
And tied him up with that pitch in the dirt. And Buck will retire Chipper Jones on the throw to first. 9 up, 9 down. Hand through 5 with a 1-0 lead, and the middle of the Marlins orders coming up. Home Depot, by the Georgia Lottery, and by AT&T. They're banging the big drum here at Turner Field, but the Marlins have scored the game's only run so far through 5 innings. And Gabby Sanchez leads off the 6th inning. And he drives the first pitch to right. First time the Braves have retired Sanchez. 1 down. Before the game today, Joe, the Braves announced changes to their baseball operations staff. General Manager Frank Wren announced that Bruce Mano will continue as the assistant general manager with an expanded role overseeing the player developmental department. Ronnie Richardson's been promoted to director of minor league operations, and John Capalea has been promoted to the director of professional scouting.
Congratulations to all those gentlemen. Braves big league club and farm system in good hands.
Two balls, no strikes to John Buck. Get a day game here tomorrow. We'll wrap up the home portion of our schedule with the Marlins. We've got one more 3-game series left with them.
Yeah, noon start tomorrow.
So sleep fast tonight.
That's an early one. And don't forget, 4 o'clock on Saturday, not 7. It's 4:10 first pitch Saturday. Joe Vincius, our producer, says 4:11. You know those producers, they're going to squeeze every minute out of it they can.
The tickets say 4 o'clock. I don't know why they have to lie to the people.
Ground ball, foul pass. The bigger issue is, Joe, what hats will the Mets be allowed to wear for that series coming into town this weekend?
Oh, boy. That one tomorrow. Anxious to see Delgado pitch again. Ricky Nolasco has certainly had his share of problems against the Braves, but 10-10 on the year. That was just a crummy story out of New York in those hats.
First, the 2-2 pitch. Yeah, the Cubs and Mets were playing Sunday Night Baseball in New York on September 11th. The Mets players wanted to wear the first responders hats, fire department hats, police hats, baseball cap style, like they did when the Braves played right after 2001's return. And Buck walks with one out, but Major League Baseball said, no, you can't wear the hats.
Yeah, it was just a really bad decision. And then the players, I think, were going to sign the hats, and then they may well have and auction them off to generate some donations for 9/11 charities. But the players wanted to wear them in the game, and they were told not to by the commissioner's office. Commissioner's office is mad at the Mets because they think the Mets threw them under the bus for blaming them. Well, they did. Well, you did. You made a bad call. What in the world would it have hurt for the Mets to wear those hats?
I have a pretty good idea. The hats that had the Cubs and Mets logos with the American flag sewn on the side were selling for $39.99 online.
Do you really think that had something to do with it?
It's the only reason I can think.
I mean, the players.
Little tapper to Mike Minor. Takes care of Peterson, runner to second with 2 outs. I mean, baseball's saying it's uniformity. They didn't want to have special instances if, God forbid, there's another tragedy somewhere else and some other team wants to wear the caps for their special purpose, and I get that.
Hey, Major League Baseball has the guys wear hats that are not uniform every July 4th. They have them wear pink wristbands and everything else on Mother's Day. Great. That's wonderful.
Yep.
Don't start talking about how they don't want to start setting precedent. You've already said it. Let the guys wear the hats for the 9/11 tribute. I thought that was really bush league by the commissioner's office.
Mike Minor departs for the Braves here in the 6th inning. Runner at second, 2 outs in a 1-0 game. We're doing. Chip and Joe back with you at Turner Field. Mike Minor done after 5 2/3. With Florida leading 1-0, a runner at second, and Donnie Murphy coming up. Freddie Gonzalez makes an AT&T call to the bullpen.
First time at this level, I believe, that Peter has worked back-to-back days. Got to double check that. Yes. Had a couple of those in the minor leagues, but good inning of work last night with a couple of strikeouts.
Let's see how he fares with Murphy up there. He is tapped to the mound and he's walked. He's also scored the game's only run.
I'm a little surprised to see him out of the game, quite frankly. I know he had some walks, but just got a comebacker from Peterson, and he only thrown 88 pitches.
There have not been many starts for the Braves where we've seen the man getting the ball for the first pitch, goes 7 innings of late. With these youngsters, it's been pretty much less than 6 every time out. The Braves bullpen has to get 10 outs. Oh, 2. Again, foul past third. Strike 3 outside corner. Murphy caught looking.
Got him with the big sweeper.
1-0 Florida. Braves coming up for the 6th inning with the 3-4-5 hitters in a 1-0 game.
And it came back in the 5th inning after a leadoff walk to Murphy. A single by Matt Dominguez. It put a couple of guys in scoring position for the leadoff man, Bonifacio, and he came through with a base hit to right field. Nice play by Matt Diaz, kept another run from scoring. 1-0 our score to this point.
But the Big Boppers are coming up for Atlanta. Let's see if they can make some hay tonight. It'll start with Freddie Freeman. Freddie's walked and flying out tonight and has retired 9 straight men. And high and tight for ball 1. Just foul past the first base bag. Get your lightsabers ready, friends. This Friday, September 16th, is Star Wars Stand Up to Cancer Night at Turner Field. You can meet your favorite Star Wars characters from 5:30 to 6:30. You can even dress up like a Star Wars character and march in a pregame parade around the field. As always, we'll have Publix Friday night fireworks. They'll be Star Wars themed. And Star Wars graphics and music will be featured throughout the game. You can help us stand up to cancer by buying a discounted Braves ticket. That includes a Stand Up to Cancer donation. That's Braves.com/Star Wars.
Gretchen Caney wrapping up the Princess Leia outfit that she's making, just working on a little draping. Should be ready to go by Friday.
High pop, shallow center. Peterson coming on. Murphy makes the play and falls to his backside as he makes the grab for out number one.
Of course he did. He's made them all. Tough play, but held on.
Remember, this is a Marlins team without Cameron, who was released. Logan Morrison's hurt. Mike Stanton's hurting. Hanley Ramirez is out for shoulder surgery. And they're playing some of their best baseball in a while. They've won 4 games in a row on the road. They swept the Pirates. They won last night in extra innings, and they're leading in the 6th tonight in Atlanta. Cardinals up 2. They're leading. It's in the 7th. The Braves 4.5 in front of St. Louis with a wild card lead.
Meanwhile, Brad Hand's done a good job tonight of mixing his pitches, and he's been throwing strikes. He's kept the hitters honest, especially the right-handers, by using his fastball in to keep them off the plate, then come back with change-ups and that occasional breaking ball. Fastball in and then a change-up.
One-out walk, and Hand will go to the stretch for the first time since the 3rd inning.
That start against the Braves in Florida on June 7th was his major league debut. He went 6 innings. He only walked 1. He struck out 6. And he only gave up 1 hit. And that was it. Alex Gonzalez touched him for a home run, and the Braves won 1-0.
Now Marlins killer Matt Diaz up there and facing a 1-ball count.
And he hit one a ton his last time up, but a nice play by Peterson near the center field wall saved a run.
Line drive to right. Bonifacio can't get it. He'll play it on a hop. Uglo will make it to 3rd without a play, and the Braves in business. 1st and 3rd with 1 out. And the man who's had the best swings of the night is the man in the batter's box, Brian McCann.
Off-speed pitch, might have been a hanging breaking ball. You do that to the hitting fool, he will make you pay every time. They have activity in their bullpen, and it's Webb who pitched last night, Ryan Webb. He just went a 1/3 of an inning last night. Came in and retired Dan Uglett in the 7th. Looks like they're going to stay with the kid here in the 6th inning, as the pitching coach Randy St. Clair is out, not the manager.
Another chance with a runner in scoring position for the Braves. 3 for 24 is Atlanta in this series against the Marlins.
He's had good controlled at bats tonight. Hasn't overswung. He was so upset with himself last night when he had opportunities to do some damage and didn't. Get in these RBI situations, especially when your team doesn't have a run and you got a tying run at third base, your adrenaline starts pumping and you have a tendency to overswing, but you just got to take a deep breath, relax, stay with your program you've had tonight.
Fly ball, well hit center. Peterson on the run, still going, at the wall, it's out of here.
Everybody feel better, but it will especially make number 16 feel better. I don't think he slept a lot last night. That's a big one.
Whew. Everybody can breathe a little easier now. 3-1. 24th McCann homer of the year.
That's a career high, isn't it?
Check it. It is. Career high tying. And now Prado, a liner to left. And the move is going to come 2 batters too late for the Marlins. Jack McKeon pops out of the dugout. He's going to go get left-hander Brad Hand, who's allowed 4 straight Braves to reach in inning number 6 tonight. Launch central to straightaway center, and Atlanta has its first lead. To 6th inning trouble, a buzzsaw for the Braves. Dan Uggla walked, Matt Diaz singled, and McCann unloaded.
Didn't miss that fastball out over the plate, down. Just a matter of whether or not it was going to hit off the wall or go over the fence. And it just cleared. Perfect. bongo drums on Mac's helmet.
New pitcher for the Marlins. With Atlanta now in front by a 3-1 score, it's Ryan Webb.
Again, just a third of an inning last night. Good numbers. Didn't walk a lot of guys, 266 average. He's only given up 2 homers this year in his 46 outings.
Martin Prado at first. And Alex Gonzalez, the batter. He has doubled and is 1 for 2. And now he shoots one through the hole on the right side. Prado a big turn. He's going to head to third and make it on a headfirst slide. And isn't this game a funny one? We talked in the opening comments, Joe, it just takes one play, one pressure valve release, and all of a sudden everybody gets in on the act.
That's what we talked about, like a 2-run double or a big blow of some kind. And after the home run by McCann, solid singles by Prado and Gonzalez. And Jason Hayward will pinch hit.
Moylan works a third of an inning with a strikeout. Let's add on a few more. 3-1 Atlanta lead.
Ryan Webb gets away with something out there in his stretch that it's a little disconcerting in that it's like he's kind of rocking to get his feet set, but then out of that he comes to the plate without really appearing to come to a set position. That time he stopped.
Jason couldn't stop his swing. And Hayward's the second out. And that'll turn the lineup over to Michael Bourne. Well, the guy umpiring at second base, is looking at every muscle move of Ryan Webb. That's Bob Davidson.
They don't call him Balkaday Bob for nothing. And if it's good with him, then it ought to be good for me.
Atlanta. A towering 3-run homer by Brian McCann. Michael singled, stole second and third base for the Braves in the first inning. He has tapped back to the mound in his last 2 at-bats. Go Pirates. 3 Cardinal errors.
Three times tonight with a runner at third and 1 out, the Braves have struck out. It was Ugla in the first. It was Minor, the pitcher, in the second, and just now Hayward. Those are the types of at-bats that they've got to make contact, even at the risk of hitting into a double play, but you got to put the ball in play, try to, and get that runner in. Cut down on your swing if you have to.
Bouncing ball to second. And that retires the Braves in the 6th inning. The Braves got 5 consecutive runners to reach in the 6th inning. Ugla walked, Diaz singled, and Brian McCann unloaded. A career-high tying 24th home run. A 3-run shot gives Atlanta a 2-run lead after 6. By Academy Sports and Outdoors, by McDonald's, and by Ford. Three-1 is our scores. We've completed 6 in Atlanta. And time for another AT&T call to the bullpen. It's Eric O'Flaherty. He's in relief of Peter Moylan and Mike Minor, who started the game. It went 5 2/3 for the Braves tonight.
Eric had a tough inning last night, but didn't give up any runs. He gave up leadoff singles to the first 2 guys he faced. Wound up with the bases loaded, 1 out, and got out of it.
And he has the bottom part of the Marlins order. Matt Dominguez, then the pitcher spot, then the top of the order, Emilio Bonifacio.
Despite all that last night, he only threw 16 pitches.
Over toward third. Chipper picks, fires, and gets his man. It's all college football, and it's all new. Need we say more? Join Sammy Linebaugh, James Bates, and Tommy Bowden in the new college football show every Thursday night at 7 and 10 on Fox Sports South. They're breaking down all the biggest matchups in the South every week, so don't miss it. Thursday at 7 and 10, the new college football show on Fox Sports South.
See, I think Sammy ought to just drop the line part and just be Sammy Ball. Slinging Sammy.
Vinny Rotino bats with the bases empty. Tino had a good year down at AAA in New Orleans. Not a bad stop if you can play minor league ball, huh? 304 average, 31 doubles, 10 homers, 59 RBIs. And he's going to ground out to second. 2 outs. All right, we've had a while to think about the trivia. Time for the AT&T Uverse TV trivia question. Who holds the Marlins record for highest career average against Atlanta? Minimum 150 plate appearances. Got a couple of wild card names to throw at you. Who? Since our buddy Tom Glavine's watching, I'm sure Mike Redmond's got to be on that list, doesn't he?
How about, well, I don't know if he had enough at bats again, but certainly against Glavine. The other guy would be Louis Castillo, but I'm going to stick with Miguel Cabrera.
How about Mr. Marlin, Jeff Conine?
Good one. You are so unbelievable. He must have had 149 of them off Glavine.
Easily. Killed it. God.
Tommy was trying to invent pitches to get Redmond out. That is so awesome, Chip.
What is that, 4 in a row for us now?
Well, using the term us loosely.
Hey, we're a team up here,
Oh, yeah, we missed last night.
We lost the game.
Away.
That doesn't count.
Yeah.
0-2.
I think the career batting average against Tom Glavine was like, I don't know, 230, maybe 228. If it weren't for Mike Redmond, it would have been like 204.
Well, I'll have a chance to ask Tommy about that on Sunday.
Is that a Mike Redmond autograph on Tom there?
One ball, 2 strikes. I wonder if he ever told whoever was catching that, just tell him I'm throwing a fastball.
Shoulda.
One, 2. Just missed. Even count. Braves got a big inning in the 6th. See a little more spring, a little life in the steps of the Braves ball club now. Still a ways to go tonight. And a slow roller out toward Ugla. Bonifacio can fly, and he's out by an eyelash. Good job by O'Flaherty. 3 ground ball outs, and he gets the Marlins on 12 pitches. 7th inning stretch at Turner Field. Glad you're with us. Braves in front. Powered by Checkers, by Geico, by Georgia Power, and by Toyota. Braves fans a little excited tonight now. It's a 3-1 game, bottom of inning number 7. Chipper Jones ready to lead things off for the Braves, who got a big lift from Ryan McCann. A 3-run homer has put the Braves in front. Just 2 more home series left for the Atlanta Ball Club. The Mets are in this weekend. Then the final regular season series of the year will be between the Braves and the Phillies, September 26th, 27th, and 28th. There are good seats available for that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday set. We hope you'll get your tickets now at braves.com/tickets or by phone at 800-745-3000. Chipper Jones takes a look at a Brian Sanchez pitch low for ball 1.
This guy's tough. He's had a good year too, although he's been battling a little elbow trouble that had him on the disabled list for a couple of weeks. Just came off September 5th. But good numbers, right-handers, against right-handers especially. They only hit 174 off of him.
.37 appearances, almost 59 innings for him. 2-1 count for Chipper.
By my notes here too, even though he came off the disabled list a week ago, this is his first appearance in a game since he pitched against the Braves on August 9th in Florida. So he went on the disabled list shortly after that.
Third year for Sanchez in a Florida uniform. Got to the big leagues first with the Phillies back in 2006. And Chipper smokes a 2-2 pitch up the middle.
Whatever was bothering Chipper in the pregame, taking his ground balls, it certainly hasn't carried over to the game because he's running. He got a hanging breaking ball on this one and ripped it up the middle. Took off out of the box like a jet, thinking he might have a chance for 2.
Leadoff hit brings Freddie Freeman to the plate. Freddie's 0 for 2 with a walk.
First outing back from the DL. Sanchez, despite the fact that he's been in the big leagues a few years, he's probably amped up a little bit. And a reminder from his catcher that he's got to get the ball down because he's most effective when he's throwing a sinker, and his good slider overthrew that one to Chipper and hung it.
Outside ball 2. Still 4-4 Cardinals and Pirates. That game in the bottom of the 8th inning in Pittsburgh. Houston's beating the Phillies again tonight. That's a 5-1 game. Phillies can clinch the East, I believe, tonight, at least a tie.
That's hilarious. Nobody beat the Phillies except Houston.
Jimmy Rollins is back for them. Chase Utley's been cleared to resume baseball activities with a couple of weeks left. Boston beating Toronto big tonight, 10-5. Tim Wakefield in line to win his 200th career game. It's taken him a while. And Tampa Bay hot on the heels. And the wild card chase tied with Baltimore 2-2. That game's in the 8th inning at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. And the Braves continue to threaten. 2 on, nobody out here in the 7th.
couple of guys warming up for the Braves. If the score remains as it is, probably see Johnny Venters. If the Braves blow it open a little bit here with a nice big inning, you might see Arodys Vizcaíno.
Dan Uggla's the hitter. Then O'Flaherty's spot is due. That's why Eric Hinsky's grabbed a bat. Standing is he in the Braves on deck circle. Never too young to learn the chop or the wave.
I like that wave.
Here's Dan. Strike one. High fly, belted left center, way out of here.
Tell you folks, there's nothing better for what ails you than a 3-run homer, unless it's 2 3-run homers. New career high. He'd swung right through a fastball earlier in the count, and maybe Sanchez thought he could throw one by him again, but we said earlier in the inning he was elevating some pitches, and he left that one up, and he's played with Dan long enough to know where that one was going.
So Uggla's remarkable run since the 4th of July continues tonight. Atlanta has scored 6 times on 10 hits, 2 3-run homers, one by McCann, one by Dan Uggla.
That's more better.
There's still nobody out, by the way, for Hinsky. He drives the ball toward left. And a nice running catch by Dobbs retires Hinsky for the first out. Brian McCann has hit the ball on the button 3 times tonight. And Joe, I thought you made a great point in analyzing Brian's first base hit of this game in the 2nd inning. The type of swing he took and what that has led to the rest of this game.
Against the left-handed pitcher, he was just patient, calm, didn't overswing. It was a nice, easy cut he took at hand. And a sharp base hit, just a single. And then in the 6th, he opened up the floodgates with this swing, which was certainly more Brian McCann-like, to dead center.
McKeon's Marlins led this game 1-0. Now they trail 6-1.
See, that was a pitch that he was hacking at last night. When he was behind in the count, he just seemed to be swinging at everything, trying to do a little too much. Saw that one out of Sanchez's hand. Didn't offer. Wasn't a bad pitch. Didn't chase. Nor there on a pitch that was near the corner but tailed off.
Infante robs him at second. Good play by Omar Infante for the second out.
See, and that's the kind of at bat, even though it's an out, that's one you don't mind if you're Brian McCann, because team's already got 6 in the bank. You've already hit one out to kind of open the floodgates, and you know that you put a good swing on this. Squared it up, good at bat, didn't chase any bad pitches. You just got robbed here. You can live with that.
Here's Martin. He's 1 for 3. How much of this late action is just a product of the guys taking a breath and relaxing?
Oh, it helps tremendously. It showed last inning. A couple of hits after the homer.
And the point being, we all get caught up in the fact that these are highly paid professional baseball players, but they have the same fears and hopes and aspirations as the rest of us. But he's been living on the edge for the last week or so for the Braves, wanting to get on a run. They're rolling offensively now, scoring 6 times in the last 2 innings.
Hits tonight. We're only in the 7th. Had 14 last night in 12 innings.
Buck caught that foul ball in a tender spot, and the count stays 1-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. Martin wanted the appeal at first, won't get it. And that will retire the side. But plenty of damage again in the 7th. A single, a walk, and then Dan Ugla hammers home run number 34 deep into the seats in left center. A new career high for Ugla. And the Braves are rolling in game 2 and lead it 6-1. Brian McCann has hit a 3-run homer. Dan Ugla has hit a 3-run homer. Brian's ties his career high. Dan's sets a new career high.
Finally got a line there with 3 A's on some hats. That's good to see.
And Braves country, get ready to chop this house. Braves postseason tickets are on sale now at Braves.com. You can be one of the first to secure tickets to all the Braves National League Division Series home games. Get your postseason tickets at Braves.com. Cardinals Pirates update. That one was tied 4-4 late in Pittsburgh. And still tied as they go to the 9th. Arodys Vizcaíno is on for Atlanta in relief. He's the third man to answer the AT&T call to the bullpen.
He's coming off 3 straight outings of scoreless baseball, covering 3 innings total. Worked 2/3 of an inning last night. He was the first guy out of the bullpen in relief of Brandon Beachy. He's getting a little work in too on a side session out in the bullpen earlier today with pitching coach Roger McDowell. They're working on what looked like a couple of mechanical things. It may be September 13th, but it is still an important time of year. We can still work on some stuff and get better.
These are important innings for these guys like Vizcaíno. Assuming the Braves make the postseason roster, he's maybe auditioning for a spot on that postseason roster. Chipper at third, a couple of steps to his left. And he gets Infante for the first out. By the way, there's another interesting race that we haven't talked about tonight, and that's the race between the Diamondbacks and the Brewers for the second best record behind the Phillies in the National League. If the playoffs were to start today, the Braves would be the wild card. Who would they play, Arizona or Milwaukee?
I don't know. I think they settled a tie with head-to-head competition, and right now they have the exact same record. And Arizona would get the tie, would play the Braves because they lead the season series 4-3.
But it's amazing that with 2 weeks of baseball left, that the Diamondbacks, with a huge flourish and a very favorable schedule that they've taken advantage of, have caught Milwaukee. Arizona plays in LA tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern time. Milwaukee's losing to the Rockies in the 4th inning at Miller Park. St. Louis has taken a 9th inning lead.
Great thing about it, you don't really have to watch that scoreboard right now. They got to watch yours.
Yep. If the Braves win tonight, let's say the Cardinals win tonight, Atlanta still accomplishes 2 things. 1, they take another day off the calendar, and 2, they trim their magic number. And would still have a 4.5 game lead in the wild card with a little more than 2 weeks left. Full count to Dobbs. Greg struck out into a double play in the first inning, has flied to left, and is lined out to Chipper at third base. And Dobbs goes the other way, a nice piece of hitting. He's got a 1-out single in the 8th inning.
Freddie Gonzalez had his team meeting with his guys today and basically trying to get them to realize that they were the guys in the lead and to relax. And he said, you keep talking to them and you keep saying, hey, it'll be okay. It's not the end of the world. They've been through this situation a bunch of times, and they're better off for it, and will be better off for it shortly. Well, tonight, with a couple of 3-run homers, everybody taking a deep breath and relaxing a little.
Gabby Sanchez, the batter. He's walked twice and has flied to right once. Anthony's a strike.
Still need to get 5 outs.
Oh, and 2. Had him off stride and popped up to short. What a luxury, huh? You can throw the ball 96 and then 82 or 83. And Sanchez was fooled for the second out.
Well, everybody likes Arodys Vizcaíno, and everybody likes his arm. And for a guy who's been a starter to this point and who's only 20 years old, I think he's made a remarkable transition already.
A strike to Buck.
But that's the big pitch for him. It's his curveball. He throws 96, 97 miles an hour, but what will make him awesome is that pitch.
And how tough will it be for him to keep 3 pitches on time out of the bullpen instead of a starter?
He really only needs 2.
Right. And this game was started by Mike Minor. 1 run, 4 hits, 5 strikeouts in 5 2/3 innings. Mike will not qualify for the win tonight. He was taken down before the Braves scored their first 3 runs tonight. Peter Moylan's in line for that as the Braves lead 6-1. And Buck singles on a 1-2 count. Dobbs will take third. He'll make it there without a throw. First and third, 2 outs. Brian Peterson's announced, and Freddie Gonzalez will go get Vizcaíno. So 2 hits in 2/3 of an inning. No walks or strikeouts. Florida threatening to cut into the lead. It's 6-1 in the 8th. Braves lead 6-1. And Freddie Gonzalez makes another AT&T call to the bullpen. Fourth man to answer that call is Johnny Venters, and he's on with 2 on, 2 out in Florida's 8th.
He continued to play a little catch in the bullpen even after Vizcaino came into the ball game, just in case something cropped up like these 2 hits. He worked an inning last night, gave up a hit, struck out a batter. He also had a runner reach on an error that struck out Dobbs to end the 8th with a good slider.
And it won't be Peterson, but Jose Lopez, who's called upon a pinch hit.
When you lead the world in appearances, it's odd that he's only inherited 18 runners on the year and now 20. He typically comes into a game to start an inning, not to finish one.
Johnny very quickly ahead of him with 2 strikes. Lopez has had a right hamstring problem. Last night had a pinch hit appearance. First since he left the game September 9th in Pittsburgh. And he lines to short, and Alex climbs the ladder. Lopez hits it sharply, but Alex timed his leap with perfection. And Florida strands 2 in the 8th inning. Nothing to it. Bottom half of the frame, 6-1 Atlanta. Eighth inning. Hope you'll join us tomorrow afternoon. Sleep fast, friends. It's 12 o'clock start for the wrap-up of the series. And you can follow the game live on your computer if you're stuck at work and can't play hooky at Game Connect on FoxSportsSouth.com. Ricky Nolasco will face the Braves. Randall Delgado will go to work for Atlanta. Wholesale changes for Florida. We'll start with a great story. Chris Hatcher is on for the 8th time. This is an unbelievable bit of Florida team history.
He was in the big leagues last year with Florida, but as a catcher. He went 0 for 6 when he got called up at the end of the year. And he's the first player in the big leagues He's the first player since Art Dahl of the Boston Braves in 1935 to play his first major league season as a catcher and return in a subsequent season as a pitcher.
Let's see if he throws like a catcher.
A little bit like Jason Mott of the Cardinals. Short arm delivery.
And also a converted catcher who now closes games for the Redbirds. So Chris Hatcher, a 1.90 ERA at AA with 57 strikeouts in 47 innings. Gives up a ground ball extra base hit to Alex Gonzalez. Alex's bat is starting to heat up. Not surprisingly, 3 hits last night, 3 hits tonight after 3 days off at Busch Stadium.
Got him going. Breaking ball that stayed out over the plate, and he one-hands it right down the line.
Last night was Alex's first 3-hit game since May 24th. Now he has 2 in a row. Brett Hayes into the game. He's playing left now for Florida. Bonifacio now in center. And Dobbs moves to right. And ball 1 to Hayward. Ball too low. Final in Pittsburgh, we understand. Excuse me, bottom of the 9th, we understand. In Pittsburgh, Cardinals 6-4. Don't have to worry about the Cardinals tonight. Braves lead here 6-1. Ground ball to second. Infante gives ground and makes a good play. Productive out, though, for Jason Hayward. Runner to third, 1 out.
Managers try to find ways to put their players in good positions to succeed and to kind of get them over the hump sometimes. And that was a good spot where Freddie could cut Jason loose on a 3-0 count. Maybe get a base hit, but at the very least there, he is able to get his job done, getting the runner to third. Three times tonight, the Braves have had a runner at third with 1 out and fanned on each of those 3 occasions. Maybe Michael Bourne can stop that trend. Hatcher's got a good arm. Throwing hard, 95. That slider's been left up a little bit. His work at the big league level in 2 different trips to the big leagues with Florida, though. 7 innings, 10 hits, 6 runs allowed.
Fly ball to center. That'll get Alex home. Bourne a sacrifice fly. Boy, the Braves manufacture a run. That's really nice to see. 27 RBIs for Bourne. Alex scores the 7th Atlanta run.
Three-man play there. The double, the ground out, and fly ball. Good work by all. 47 RBIs for Bourne.
Two hits and a run for Chipper tonight. And he had a good cut.
His average up to 287, folks.
Well, it's going to be a different final 2 weeks of September 2011 as opposed to last year when Chipper was hurt.
He was hitting 260 on August 8th. So just a little over in just over a month. He's averaged 27 points.
Yeah, last 21 games, a 360 mark, 13 runs, 7 homers, 11 RBIs. And he took strike 3 and knew it. Braves pick up their 7th run. Alex Gonzalez, a leadoff double. Jason Hayward got him to third. And Michael Bourne with a sac fly drove him in. 3 outs to get for Atlanta tonight. We go to the 9th. Good measure in the 8th inning. One of those crooked numbers is our Toyota play of the game.
And that's because on this 410-foot home run by Dan Uggla, he established a new career high in homers with 34, bumped his RBI total up to 76, gave the Braves a little breathing room, but for that career high number, he gets the Toyota play of the game.
So 3 outs to get in the 9th inning for Atlanta. And they'll bring on Scott Langbrink. Scott's the 5th reliever tonight. He answers the AT&T call to the bullpen, and he'll start with Donnie Murphy, the Marlins shortstop. He's the only Florida player to score tonight.
Scott's had a hard time getting back on track after his stint on the disabled list for a lower back strain. 6 earned runs on 10 hits in 6 innings. So clean inning tonight would do a lot for him.
$22,707 is the crowd at Turner Field.
Speaking of Toyota, too, the Toyota Tuesdays, you know, the specials they have on the club level, folks took advantage of that tonight. So a good turnout helped get the Braves back on the right track tonight.
And hope you'll come out and play hooky tomorrow. 12 o'clock start. Weather's supposed to be perfect.
So what did Murphy just do to himself in that swing? The umpire, Brian Knight's trying to get their trainer to come out and take a look at him.
Oh, when you start seeing wrist problems, that's never a good sign.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's more elbow or bicep. Big follow through may have gotten him one-handed. May have hyperextended it a little bit.
Well, rush one in there under his hands and see what he can do with it.
Well, I hope he's not hurt too seriously, because this guy's had a good series. He's playing good, trying to make an impression on their club for next year. And Scott Linebrink should have gotten a call there to put him down.
And right, Jason's going to catch it. Justice served, 1 out in the 9th.
Besides that, Jack McKeon's already got a MASH unit over there in his dugout. He doesn't need any more injured players.
And Dominguez 1 for 3 in the game. Braves 2 outs away from ending their losing streak and stopping Florida's winning streak. Braves have had very good luck against the Fish this year. 2 more outs, they'll go to 10-4 against the Marlins in 2011. One ball, 1 strike as we're a few moments past the 10 o'clock hour in the East. Deep short. Alex throws on the run. Short hop handle. 2 out.
It wasn't the throw. It was the exchange between glove and hand and how fast he got the ball to his arm and got rid of it. Watch this. Phenomenal. Watch this transfer and arm action. That is special, folks.
2 outs for John Baker. Remember when the Marlins won the World Series last, their infield had Pudge, Derek Lee, Louis Castillo, Alex Gonzalez, and Mike Lowell. Not too shabby.
Good quartet there.
Check swing. Slow roller. Linebrink sets, fires, and fires wide. Panagla backs up the play down the line. Infield hit for Baker.
Needed to get out of Chipper's way on that one. Chipper's the only guy with his momentum coming this direction who was going to have a chance to make this play. when you got to stop, plant, regroup, 1-2 steps. Not much chance of really getting the guy, let alone making a good throw.
Bonifacio another at bat. And a little low. Two hits for Bonifacio, including the lone Marlins RBI. They have just 7 hits in the game. While it won't be reflected in the one-loss column as an individual, another good start by one of the Braves' rookie starters tonight. Mike Minor had a little control problem. Did strike out 5 men, allowed just 1 run tonight.
One real quick note, too, on that swinging bunt hit. First hit of the year for Baker, who had been out all year long rehabbing for Tommy John surgery. He's a catcher by trade. Only played in 23 games last year before they had to shut him down. So congratulations to him. Swinging bunt hit or not, his first hit since coming back from the surgery.
See the big brace on the elbow just in case. Now a full count. Strike 3 called, and that's your ball game. Linebrink gives up a hit in his 1 inning of work, but the Braves rebound in a big way. They play long ball and bash the Marlins by a final score of 7-1. There's the updated wild card standings. The Braves beat Florida and even up this series. 1 more to play tomorrow afternoon. Back with more from Turner Field.